Hey everybody, welcome back. In this video I'm going to show you how to play the guitar solo from the classic Great White song, Rock Me. Now this one contains some relatively basic pentatonic blues-based phrasing that I think is great for people that are just getting into lead guitar. Now there are a few tricky spots in here, but I'm going to work it through note by note so you can capture every little nuance in the playing. Alright, let's go ahead and jump on into it. Alright, here's section 1 at normal and then slow speed, and then we'll break it down note by note. So you're going to start by playing the 4th fret of the D string, followed by the 2nd fret of the G, and then 4th fret of D string again, followed by 2nd fret of G. So far. Then you're going to play the 4th fret of the G string, bend up a full step, and then another full step bend at the 4th fret of the G string. A little bit slower, but when you get to the top, hold it for a little bit, then add vibrato. So far. Now when you're holding that 4th fret G string bend at the top, after you do the vibrato part, you're going to hit the 4th fret of the G string again along with the 5th fret of the B string and bring it down. So far. And then you pull off to the 2nd fret of the G as you bring that bend down. Okay? And then 4th fret of D, then 2nd fret of G and B, and then 4th fret of D, add vibrato, and then 2nd fret of G and B string again, but this time you're going to bend up slightly on the G string, about a quarter step. So here's this section one more time at normal and then slow speed. Alright, let's move to section 2. Alright, here's section 2 at normal and then slow speed. So the first thing we're going to do is a very kind of quick arpeggiated kind of rake through the bottom low strings. You're going to start with the 14th fret of the low E, followed by 16th fret of A and 16th fret of D, right? It's like a little F sharp power chord, basically, way high up. Okay, go through that quickly. Then the 14th fret of the G, and then 16th fret of G, bend up, hold it for a little bit, and then vibrato. Okay, so far. Now, that first little arpeggiated movement, don't get too hung up on that, okay? You can even just rake through the strings if you want to. It happens very quickly, all right? Then we're going to play the 17th fret of the B string, followed by the 16th fret of the G, bend up, bend down, pull off to 14, okay? 17B, 16th fret, G, bend up, bend down, pull off to 14. And then 16th fret of D, 16th fret of G, 16th fret of D, and then 14th fret of G, hold it for a tiny bit, bend up half a step, and then 16th fret of D, pull off to 14, 16th fret of D, vibrato. Here's the section one more time at normal and then slow speed. Alright, let's move on to section 3. Alright, here's section 3 at normal and then slow speed. So what you're going to do is bar your index finger across the 14th fret of the D, G, and B strings and play that twice. And then after the second time, you wait a tiny bit and then bend it up just slightly, like about a quarter step. Okay? Then you're going to play, and if you want there, instead of doing the quarter step bend, you can give it a little vibrato. I like the way that sounds too. Either way, you should be fine. And then 14th fret of the D string. And then you're going to play that little triad, the 14th fret of D, G, and B again, twice. And the second time, the little quarter step bend. Do that again. So far. Then we're going to play the 16th fret of the G string, followed by the 14th fret. And then 17th fret of B, bend up, give it wide vibrato. All right, here's the section one more time at normal and then slow speed. All right, let's move on to section 4. All right, here's section 4 at normal and then slow speed. So we're going to start with the 14th fret of the high E, and then 17th fret of the B, bend up a full step, hold it for a tiny bit. Then, this next little part right here, think of that as 3 little groups of 3 notes, okay? The first 3 notes are, that's 14th fret of high E, followed by 14th fret of B, 17th fret of B. Then the second group is 16th fret of G, 14th of B, 14th of G. And then third group is 16th of G, 16th of D, and then 14th of G. And that 14th fret of G at the end, you hold it for a little bit, then do a little quarter step bend. Okay? So far. Then we're going to play 16th fret of D, pull off to 14. 16th fret of A, 14 of D, 16 of D, 14 of G, 16 of D, add vibrato. Then we're going to play the 14th fret of D and give it a tiny little kind of quarter step bend. Most people miss this. And then 16A, 14D. Here's the section one more time at normal and then slow speed. Alright, let's move on to section 5. Alright, section 5 goes like this at normal and then slow speed. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is play the 17th fret of the high E string, bend it up a full step, hold it a tiny bit, and then 17th fret of high E with vibrato. So far. Then the 14th fret of high E, hammer on to 17, pull off to 14, do that kind of quickly. Then we're going to play 17th fret of B, 14th fret of E, and then 17 of B again, bend it up a full step, give it a little bit of vibrato. Now when we give that last note a little bit of vibrato, it goes by very quickly, okay, so don't linger on that note. Now for the rest of it, it looks like what we're doing, and you could think of it this way if you want, but what it looks like it's doing on paper is you're playing the 14th fret of the high E, followed by the 17th fret of the B, bent up a full step. And you do that like 11 times, okay? That's one way to think of it. But in order to get the feel down just right, I prefer to look at it this way. So first you're going to play the 14th fret of the high E, and then we're going to break it up into little groups of 3, okay? So first, you can see the first grouping there of 3 that has a red underline under it. We're going to do 17th fret of the B, bent up a full step, and then 14th fret of high E, and then 17th fret of B, a full step again, okay? That's the first group of 3. Now with the second grouping of 3, the first one with the blue underline, we're going to play 14th fret of high E, 17th fret of B, bend up a full step, and then 14th fret of high E, okay? Then for the third grouping of 3, we go back to the red pattern, 17th fret of B, full step up, 14th fret of high E, 17th of B, full step up. Then we go back to the blue pattern, then the red pattern, then the blue pattern, then the red pattern. Think of it this way. The first group, second group, third group, fourth group, fifth group, sixth group, seventh group. You're just repeating those two different shapes. And so if you practice it that way, in those little groupings of 3, it's going to feel a little bit better than if you just keep repeating 11 times. Okay, so try it both ways, and whatever works best for you in terms of getting the feel down, just go for it. But I found that groupings of 3 usually helps people. Here's the section one more time at normal and then slow speed. Alright, let's move on to the final section. Alright, here's section 6, the final one, and it goes like this at normal and then slow speed. So we're going to start with the 14th fret of the high E, followed by 17 and 14 on B. Then 16th fret of G, bend up a full step. So far. 14th fret of B, 16th fret of G. And then 16th fret of G again, bend up and down quickly, pull off to 14. And then 16 of D, 14 of G. And then 17th fret of B, bend up a full step. Hold it for a little bit, and then add vibrato. Here's the section one more time at normal and then slow speed. Alright, that was my lesson on how to play the guitar solo from the Great White song, Rock Me. If you liked it, I would appreciate a thumbs up, and please hit that subscribe button if you have not done so already. And if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below, and I will attempt to answer them as time allows. Until next time, rock on.